Hello everybody, welcome back to Frauenfeld-Gachnang, the final race of the afternoon and of the weekend actually. It's round 16 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Switzerland, presented by iXS. Great weather, great venue, great action on track as always. And in this MXGP category, we have had so many wild results since we came back here in 2016. It's never really been clean cut. And in 2016, Tony Cairoli was victorious here with a first and a fifth. Nothing unusual about that, you might say. Tim Geiser was second with a ninth and a first. Roman Febvre third with an eighth and a second. And last year, it was Herlings who was victorious with a 6-1. Paulin second with a 4-2. Cairoli third with a 3-4. Is this going to throw up one or two similar surprises here in race 2? Are we going to see something completely different? At the moment, it's touching 30 degrees out here on the racetrack. We've got a very, very noisy crowd here because they're all here to see Valentin Guillot, but also the Yamaha rider at Wilvo, Jeremy Seewer, who's been twice on the podium in MX2. He would love to get on the podium here in his rookie season in MXGP. The riders making their way towards the end of their sighting lap. You can imagine the atmosphere out there, even if you're a neutral. But here's what happened in MXGP Race 1 a little earlier in the day. The gate dropped. Look over on the far left side. Anstey gets nudged here by Herlings as he got squeezed. Had to go the inside of the barrier. He worked his way to the back. A couple of riders went down on the exit of the turn, and then on the first lap as well as DeSalle took the lead but not the foxhole shot. Herlings got himself in the second. Febvre was third. Goldenhoff fourth. Cairoli fifth. And Seewer in white there, just off the back of that group, was in sixth. Just out of this next right-hander, though, going downhill, Tim Geiser upside down as he tried to find his way past Lieber. The two were a piece of scrap metal. Geiser picked himself up to run his way back to 12th, but for Julian Lieber, he had to come in. He had front-end issues, back brake issues. But for Jeffrey Herlings, at the end of the first lap, sided his way past the Montreal Kawasaki, come on to south and into the lead. From there, the number 84 was never headed. Roman Febvre did his best to keep the Belgian in his sights, but then he got caught and passed by Tony Cairoli. The Sicilian then got himself into third. The Frenchman was down in fourth for about 2 laps. But then it all went wrong for Cairoli. He stalled the engine on takeoff. He went over the handlebars, landed awkwardly, much to the disappointment of the team. And from that side, Cairoli picked himself up in 7th. He got himself back up to 6th and then went back down to 8th. But not before he found his way past Gauthier Paulin. Anstey was on a charge after his first lap problems. Made his move on Tommy Searle to go up into, where was that? Into 9th place. Then he found his way past Paulin. Well, Paulin actually moved first on Cairoli. Then Anstey followed his teammate through. The two Husqvarnas then were in 6th and 7th place. Anstey finally made his pass stick on Paulin, but only just. The back end swinging back into the path of the number 99, but he did bring it home in 6th place. Paulin was 7th, Cairoli 8th, but Jeffrey Herlings was a winner for the 24th time in race 1. That was the action from MXGP Race 1. Guess what? We've got Race 2 to look forward to. Stay tuned. So the riders then down on the grid. Here's Lisa Leyland with Tony Cairoli.
Hello and welcome to the start of the second MXGP race, the final race of the day. Now I'd like to speak to Tony Cairoli. Quite an eventful first race, I have to say. Tony, let's talk about the first race. We saw you stall on the takeoff. It looked like you fell on your right shoulder and perhaps hurt your left hand. We see you limping. Firstly, tell us, one, if you're okay and just what happened.
Yeah, I was pushing a lot because I know that Jeffrey was pulling away, and but I had a good start actually. Then I was too wide in the corner and I was back to 7, so I had to make some time and I was pushing hard, but I know this track is difficult to pass, you know, and Febvre and DeSalle, so I was too fast on that piece and I stalled the bike, and then I went over the bars and I twist my knee, my right knee bad, so I feel something is not going how I want, so feels strange. So I'm gonna have a check after the race. I hope I can ride now, and and try to do my best to take some points, but it feels not 100%, so I'm pretty disappointed.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. And just secondly, we know Jeffrey's been very strong at the moment. The championship is far from over. What is your mindset coming into these final races of the championship?
Yeah, you know, first of all, I want to see how it reacts my knee and see if I can ride. You know, first moto I finished, but I was riding barely with one leg, and I was not really giving a lot of pressure on the knee. So I checked now with my physio, and it said there's a lot of instability on the knee. But hopefully it's not broken, the ligament is just stretched, so we try to see if I can ride it, and then we're going to have a check.
Okay, well, we hope everything's okay. Thanks, Tony, and good luck. Okay, Tony Cairoli, they're far from 100%. We wish him the best of luck. It's time for MXGP Race 2.
Well, a little earlier on the day, I had the fortune to catch up with that very fine gentleman on the left-hand side, a guy by the name of Rolf Diefenbach from Germany. He was the last ever winner here in 250 on his Honda back in 1983. We've only ever had 3 Grand Prix here. It was an older venue just up the road, the other side of town. Eric Gabors was the first winner in 125 in 1981. The American Johnny O'Mara was victorious here on his 125 in 1982, and that fella, Rolf Diefenbach, was the last ever winner, of course. So the last 3 years now we've been coming here to this side of town. And what a fine venue it is as well. But Tony Cairoli goes to the line first, as he was victorious for the 4th time in qualifying this year. Romain Febvre, Commander Sal, Max Anstey, Gauthier Paulin, Herlings 6. He went down on the 2nd turn, caught the front wheel on the back of Geiss's bike as they peeled in mid-turn of turn 2. Hard charge through the field for the Bullet. Then Geisser, Seward, Van Horbik and Searle. We're just moments away from MXGP Race 2 here in Switzerland. Jeffrey Herlings, number 84, takes his place behind the gate on the steels in readiness for MXGP Race 2 here. Round 16 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Switzerland, presented by iXS. His teammate, though, Tony Cairoli, now 48 points behind after Race 1 because of what happened, what saw him crash out and finish in 8th. There's Max Anstey. What a scything ride through the field the Englishman had. Is he down there in gate number 1 as well? He is, just as he was in race 1. So he'll be hoping that he's strapped his big elbows, certainly a left one anyway, because he'll want to give out whatever was dished out to him going into turn 1. There's Commander Sal, the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider, and the home hero, number 91, Jeremy Seward for Wilvo Yamaha. Fans very quiet for now, but you know when this gate drops here in Switzerland, they will be all noise and flares, air horns, chainless chainsaws. There's Tim Geiser, Team HRC. He'll be hoping for more than the 12th place that he picked up in race 1. Of course, he went down on the opening lap in a collision with Julian Lieber, number 33, on the Monster Energy Kawasaki. There's the Monster Energy Yamaha of Romain Febvre, former world champion, 3rd in race 1. He was running 3rd before he got passed by Cairoli. Of course, that lasted 2 laps before Cairoli went over the bars. And Tommy Searle, well, in race 1, we had an exclusive with Jean-Jacques Vassetti, the new team owner for Team Boss GP, that currently runs Evgeny Bobryshev. And before this weekend, Jordi Tixier, 2 announcements. A, he's the new team manager. B, they're going Kawasaki. And C, it's going to be Bobryshev and Searle next year in MXGP, because Steve Dixon, Bike at DRT Kawasaki, will not be running a 450 team next year. 250s only. Gauthier Paulin looks a little bit out of sorts, but he battled to 7th in race 1 on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. And there's a guy who's trying to get himself all psyched up. I think he went down on the opening lap, but he did get back to 15th. Jeremy Van Corbett, teammate to Romain Febvre, Monster Energy Yamaha. We are almost ready to go. Green flag at the back, green flag at the front. Who will it be that grabs the Vauxhall shot? Tony Cairoli has 17. Now, can he make it number 18? There he is, looking a little bit tentative. Gate number 4, we've got Anstey, Herlings, Dessau, Cairoli, Paulin, and Seward and Febvre. That's pretty much where the gate came from in race 1. The gate drops down. Better start this time for Anstey. Again, he gets squeezed. This time, everybody up. What happens here in turn 2, though? Great start for Cairoli. Man down on the inside. Couldn't quite see who that is. The important thing is that the number 91 of Siwa is still up there for the home crowd. But it's DeSalle who leads. Lieber, the Monster Energy Kawasaki, 1-2. This is where Lieber fell in race 1. Febvre is 3rd. Ivo Monticelli 4th. But then Febvre takes 2nd away from the Belgian. But for how much longer? They're going to be barred to ball. How did Febvre stay up? He cased that. Both feet were off the handlebars. He'll be fruit shopping in a minute at the end of this race, that's for sure, because he's going to need a new set of plums. But he manages to take breath, take stock of the situation, goes around the outside and forces Lieber to backing off in that next left-hand turn. But it's DeSalle who leads. Ooh, Lieber looking to respond immediately, but again, Febvre keeps him out there, and he just gives him a tap. And Ryder's going down. Is that Siwa? No, there's Siwa, tiptoeing his way through. It's Monticelli. And Paulin, I think. Give you a replay of that in just a moment. I think it was Paulin that got caught out in that bottom turn when Monticelli got stuck. But it's DeSalle who leads. Febvre 2nd. Herlings 3rd. Cairoli 4th. Herlings was 7th over the first split. He's making light work of everybody, but Cairoli, battered and bruised after his fall. Geiser's going to go around the outside of the number 222, is he? Not the way the former Grand Prix winner here, Tony Cairoli, would have liked to have seen this one out. But it's DeSalle who leads. Febvre by, well, I was going to say 2.5, but wasting no time at all getting into 2nd. Jeffrey Herlings, who has been dynamite here this weekend. The Red Bull KTM splits the 2 Monster Energy riders, the Kawasaki and the Yamaha respectively, of DeSalle and Febvre. Immediately goes after the Belgian. Fourth, Geiser goes around Cairoli. Cairoli looking to respond though. Cairoli no answer at the moment to the HRC rider. Lieber is 6th, Anstey 7th, Simpson 8th, Siwa up to 9, Bobashev down to 10th. That's the Swiss rider goes through. Koldenhoff 11, Guillaume 12, the standing construct KTM. Good to see the 2 Swiss guys up there inside the top 12 places at the moment. Valentin Guillaume then looking to try and break into the top 10 if he can. Lupino is 13th for Kevin Van Venrooy Kawasaki. 14th is Tano Leop on the A1M Husqvarna. Tommy Searle, Bike at DRT Kawasaki is next. Then Todd Waters. Then Cyril Scheiweiler. Peter Petrov for Honda Red Motor Asamotor. Kevin Strybos and Robin Capel. Van Hoormik down in 25th place. Monticelli 28th. Paul Lanier it was who went down into the back of the Italian. Salvo enjoying his time at the head of the field. Be smart. That's the message from Banksy. The mechanic, not the artist. Although he's an artist in his own right. Take a look at the lap times then. First official lap. DeSalle 55.613, fastest lap of the race. Quickly followed over the line at 54.7 by Jeffrey Herlings, the fastest lap of the race on the opening lap. The gap was about 3/4 of a second, but you don't need a stopwatch to tell you that because you can see it. Crucially, 3 seconds behind the back though is Febvre. Then Geiser, Cairoli, Lieber, Anstey, Siwa in 8th, Simpson 9. The 2 Wilbo Yamahas side by side. Then Bobashev 10, Koldenhoff 11, Lupino 12, Searle up to 13, Guillaume down to 14, Leop 15, Waters 16, Strybos, Petrov, Bonini and Capel. Your top 20. Clement de Sale adding a lap then to his lap tally. 21 laps now he's led during the season up until this point. Ooh, watch this here. Replay coming up with this. This was the opening lap look. Ready? Watch Febvre short and almost over the handlebars. And Herlings move on Febvre immediately into 2nd. That was the end of the first unofficial lap. Fevre still there in third, though. Continues to give chase to this fella, number 84, Jeffrey Herlings, who in turn goes in pursuit of Clement Desal. Desal bringing his A-game. Desal was second in race one. Of course, Jeffrey Herlings was victorious. Stays like this, Desal will take his second Grand Prix of the year. That'll be the second non-KTM victory of the year as well, because he was victorious in Russia, the only time anything other than a KTM was victorious so far this year. But a long, long way to go. Desal sets the fastest lap of the race at 54.3. .24 minutes plus 2 laps. Clement Desal leads now by 1.4 seconds over there's number 33, Julian Lieber. Lieber goes down, he loses the front into the first turn. Wow, digs in, throws him violently over the track, and Siwa has to take evasive action. Wow, that's what you call a tough day at the office for Julian Lieber. Herlings right back on the case, though. 1.4 it was, he hit the line a moment ago. Oh, he tried his luck there, didn't he? Tried to jump in, hit the brakes, pull in the clutch, give it the old panic rev. Certainly spooked Desal, though, because he's slightly offline coming out of that turn, as he just put himself into a bit of a hurried situation. These two, 4 seconds clear of Fevre. Geiser in fourth, Cairoli fifth, Lieber out of sixth. He remounts in 17th. Anstey is now sixth, Siwa 7. Sean Simpson 8, Bobryshev 9, Koldenhoff 10, Lupino 11, Searle is 12, Guillaume 13, Leon 14, Waters 15, Strybos 16, Lieber is in 17th place, 18th for Petrov, Bernini is 19, and Van Orbik, the Jerryman, in 20th. I wonder if Jeffrey Herlings actually saw the board from his crew chief there, Wayne Banks, a lap or so ago, where he said, be smart. Biding his time. Rome wasn't built in a day and all that. But Desal doing a fantastic job for Monster Energy Kawasaki here. Another fastest lap, but then that switches to Romain Fevre in third at 54.0. We're talking tenths of a second here and there. 54.2 for Desal, 54.4 and 54.0 for Romain Fevre. Watch this here. This was Herlings. Jumped long, went to the inside, had to hit the brakes because he realised those lines 2 into 1 was not quite going to go. And then Desal just offline, look. So applying the pressure to Jeffrey Herlings is Romain Fevre. This will be interesting then. Clement Desal continues to lead, 21 minutes plus 2 to go. Jeffrey Herlings having kind of a bit of a concertina yo-yo effect at the moment, to and from the back of the Kawasaki ahead of him. But it looks like, after setting the fastest lap of the race a moment ago, 54.0, Romain Fevre in third on that Monster Energy Yamaha. He's got second wind, he's found second gear as well, and he's going after Jeffrey Herlings. Going to make it very difficult and maybe uncomfortable for him. Here's Julian Lieber. He just had an off a moment ago. He was the Fox Hole Shot winner as well, so first one for him this year. But he just had an upside down of all proportions going through the final turn, where it swings after the finish down through turn 1. Might get to see that again in a minute, actually, because it was pretty spectacular. Getting ready to complete the 4th lap here. Round 16 of the FI Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Switzerland, here at Frauenfeld-Gagnan, presented by iXS. Desal, Herlings and Fevre are locked together. Another fastest lap for Romain Fevre here in blue on his Monster Energy Yamaha, as he looks to upset the form book. Because Jeffrey Herlings has been nothing but dominating the last few rounds. He's dominated the championship as well. He's on win number 79. looking to make it 80 here, but so too are looking to add to their tally on the 25 and the 461. It's something we don't normally see. Jeffrey Herlings, we saw it last year a lot at the beginning of the season, where he was put under pressure by riders he wouldn't normally expect to see or deal with, and it spooked him, it rattled him a little bit, took him out of his comfort zone. That's what we need a little bit more of here, just to kind of keep him on his toes and give us a little bit more entertainment, because he has pretty much walked away with it so far this year. Whereas Cairoli, his teammate, he's still battling down there in 5th place. But Febvre all over the back in what is a 3-way scrap for first place here in MXGP Race 2 in Switzerland. He goes tight to the inside. Febvre might get the slingshot. 450s, it's not so prominent on the smaller bikes. But Sal looking to his left, sees Herlings closing in, and Febvre looking to spook Herlings out of that 2nd position. There'll be a lot of nail biting going on up there in the skybox and in pit lane, as these three continue to put on a show here. Siwa continues to ride around in 7th place for Wilbo Yamaha. It won't be good enough for a podium, but they've got their attentions elsewhere as well. I wonder if they've made any changes to the bike, actually, than the Herlings crew. Doesn't seem to be advancing here. Just looks a little bit tentative as well. Doesn't look as relaxed as he was earlier, but then he only won the first race by about 6 seconds. So initially you probably think, oh, maybe doing just enough on what is a technical racetrack here. But maybe it just goes to show that he got to the front early, opened up a gap, and just managed it because the conditions were so technical for him. Knows it's how easy it is to make a mistake. That's nice, outside double in. He's been doing it all race anyway, but it just shows you the options there. Out of that right, inside single or outside double. Now he's up on the pegs. Now he's looking to assert his muscle again. He's not looked back once though, has he? All of a sudden, from out of nowhere, he launches his attack and goes from 2nd to 1st to Sal. Has to yield, and Herlings back in the driving seat. And Febvre, has he gone down in that turn? Well, Siwa has an issue. Jeremy Siwa, he can't believe it. His first DNF of the year, and he's, well, 2nd actually, because he went out the first race in Semmering. But the fans over there, they'll be silenced now, because Siwa goes out of 7th. Not sure what that was. Looking down to the left side. This is Herlings, though, up on the pegs, letting the backhand dance around. Hits that gear change early, so he hasn't got to do it there. Look, his foot's already off the peg. He's your new leader on lap 6. Febvre did stay up. Just looked like he lost a little bit of ground in the exchange of passes between Herlings and de Sal. Herlings sets a personal best, his fastest lap of the race, a 54.3. But it's still Romain Febvre who had a 53.8 earlier on in the race. And look, he doesn't want to get left behind here. He charges past Clément de Sal, who takes a look behind, thinks, man, I've just been assaulted here by 2 riders. Don't want to get beaten up anymore. Where's Geiser? Geiser is about 3 seconds further back. Right, Herlings now leads away. Febvre now 2nd. De Sal 3rd. Same 3 riders in the top 3 positions. And let's go down the pit lane though. Here's Dirk Grubel.
Dirk, at one point it actually looked like Romain Febvre was faster than Herlings, but Herlings being Jeffrey, he's taken control and he looks a lot more like his old self.
Yeah, it looked like he enjoyed a bit the racing around him, like staying behind Clément and having the pressure from Romain Febvre. But now you see within half a lap he turns the thing completely around, pulls a little gap of like 1-2 seconds already, and it's total under control. That's Jeffrey, yeah.
Okay, well, best of luck for the rest of the race.
Yeah, in a sick, perverse way, Jeffrey Herlings probably did enjoy that kind of pressure, just having a bit of a battle with de Sal and Febvre. But Febvre, he's advanced, hasn't he? So he could still be a danger man. He could still take the race win away. from Jeffrey Herlings. We'll see what happens in the next 15 minutes or so. Here's Koldenhoff, his teammate. He's down there behind Bobashev in 9th place at the moment, so third Red Bull KTM rider. Here's the second one, Tony Cairoli, the 2:22. So Herlings, fastest lap of the race then for Herlings, 53.5. 3.2 seconds clear of Febvre on the Yamaha. DeSalle third, fourth Geiser, fifth Cairoli. Circulating in the 55s. Max Anstey, sixth in race 1, sixth in race 2 at the moment on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Seventh is Sean Simpson for Wilvo Yamaha, the lone Wilvo Yamaha. 8th is Bobashev for Boss GP. 9, Koldenhoff. 10, Lupino for Gavin van Venrooy, Kawasaki. .13.50, 14 minutes to go, plus 2 laps. Jeffrey Herlings would be your overall winner here with another double win. Febvre would be second with a third and a second. DeSalle would be third, sharing the points with a second and a third if it were to stay like this. And for Romain Febvre, that'll be his third podium visit of the season, having picked up third in Matterley Basin, Great Britain, and Indonesia at Pangkal Pinang. Fingers crossed for the Frenchman. He's looking like his old self as well. Looked like he was trying too hard to make things happen a lot of the time last year, despite taking the odd race win here and there, but definitely looking like things are working for him now, though. But he's got a 3-second gap or thereabouts to make up to Romain Febvre, to Jeffrey Herlings. DeSalle needs to be mindful of what's going on behind him as well, because well, he could lose a couple of points to Tim Geiser and still be on the podium, because Anstey will be 4th overall on 30, same as Koldenhoff. And Geiser is closing in on DeSalle as they charge into turn 2. Koldenhoff is now past Bobashev for 8th place, by the way. Looks like Jeremy Sewell might still be circulating, you know. He's in 21st place, so whatever it was a glitch, possibly. But it brings to an end his overall classification, that's for sure. Jeremy Sewell at home. Clement DeSalle in third has been caught hand over fist over the last lap and a half by Tim Geiser. He looked like he had the onslaught of Jeffrey Herlings and Romain Febvre, dealt with them, took a nervous look back, and all of a sudden, Geiser, in the blink of an eye, is there challenging for that third place. DeSalle, though, could afford to lose third place. He would still be overall third on the podium. Geiser could do with the points, though, because this is his main rival in the battle for the championship third place. But DeSalle was second in race 1, Geiser 12th in race 1. So DeSalle already pulling up some vital points over the Slovenian. I won't say he won't mind giving 2 back to him, but he'd like to keep him back there if he can on that Honda behind him. 11 minutes plus 2 to go. This one not done by a long shot, is it? But Herlings Febvre continue to lead. This is going to be an interesting battle, though, between DeSalle and Geiser. The technical, rugged and rutted circuit of Frauenfeld-Gaggenau here. The venue for round 16 of the F1 Motocross World Championship. The MXGP of Switzerland, presented by iXS. Certainly starting to catch 1 or 2 riders out, but Herlings dominated at the head of the field, more than 5 seconds clear of Febvre. Interesting battle, though, for third between DeSalle and Geiser. The Kawasaki versus the Honda, both full factory bikes, of course. Anstey's up to 5th now, by the way. He's just demoted Tony Cairoli down to 6th, so going from bad to worse for Tony Cairoli in the battle for the championship. Had that moment in race 1 on the Cine jump, heading back down the hill in race 1, of course, that left him on the deck, but nursing a bit of a knee injury as well. Just stalled the engine, came in, hit the brake, locked up, killed the engine, went over the bars there. Was that Simpson? No, sorry, just saw the flash of yellow as those guys went by. Simpson still there in 7th place, just behind Tony Cairoli. Sal, weather in the storm though. Can he do it for another 9.5 minutes? That's the question. Oh, and plus 2 laps, by the way. 2 laps that amount to about 155, 156. Here's Cairoli, currently in 6th place. Again, and you know what? MXGP, the toughest world championship in the world, and the toughest championship in the world, I should say. We're now in a run of 3. We go to Bulgaria next week. We go to Turkey the week after. And it's now round 16. We've got 4 more rounds to go after this, and another injury possibility being picked up here by Tony Cairoli. He'll get it looked at tomorrow, see the extent of the damage. But when you're 3 in a row, that there is a massive dent in confidence, because you're just riding through the pain barrier now, just trying to pick up as many points you can, trying to keep that championship alive. When you've got to go and do it again next week and the week after, and the guy you're challenging is 100% healthy and made of metal, bionic, doesn't fill you with too much confidence, does it? But Herlings will advance to 733 points. Tony Cairoli will be on 675. That takes the gap to 58 points if Cairoli were to come home in 6th place. It's more than a GP, crucially. And so far, when you go back to last year as well, Jeffrey Herlings, of course, well, look at that. Big move there. 2 big hitters come together. Geiser just carved his way up the inside of DeSalle. Watch this here. Unfair advantage. Oh, and he's looked down as well. Watch this. DeSalle didn't see it coming. Watch this. Goes into the turn. They touch. Metal on metal. Runs him out of the track. DeSalle wouldn't have liked that, and he looked down as well at the gear lever or the foot peg, but watch this. Okay, no comeback at the moment. So, will DeSalle fight back? Will he retaliate? Soon find out, I guess. But Herlings leads, fed for 2nd. Geiser now 3rd. DeSalle 4th. Here he is. Normally, he's one to strike back. Maybe Geiser knows that. But if he stays where he is, anyway, we'll see him on the podium. So I'm sure he can tell us all about it. Now that he's got clear track, though, Geiser looks like he's getting a bit of a spurt on. What can he do about Bevra? He's 6 seconds behind him. It was a 55.4, even with that pass on DeSalle, which actually didn't cost him any time. He came in, he was committed to the line, ran him off the track. Where's the Yamaha? Oh, he's already out of sight. Nicely done up and over the step-up. Lieber up to 14th now at the expense of Todd Waters. So Todd Waters, the Australian. For Team HRC, teammate to the guy just in the middle of the shot there, Tim Geiser. Where was he? 15th in race 1. Todd Waters, 15th now in race 2. And for Todd Waters, that'll probably be good enough for 15th overall, the Australian. Still, maybe a little bit out of his comfort zone, but 13th overall a couple of rounds ago in Indonesia. But anyway, 5.5 to go. DeSalle now in 4th. Jeffrey Herlings continues to lead then, with about 5 minutes plus 2 to go. Jeremy Seewer, as we said, back in the race. He's now up into 19th, just behind Tommy Searle. There is Searle on the bike at DRT Kawasaki, riding number 100. So whatever the issue was for Jeremy Seewer, he's now being urged on by his army of fans here all around this racetrack. It was obviously a slight technical issue that just halted his progress momentarily. Certainly cost him any chance of getting on the podium, but Siwa is lapping now in 1:57 lap times. Everyone around him, 2 minutes, 59s, 58s, right the way up to Anstey. So there's only 4 guys on the 57s, and he's one of them. Herlings and Fevre in the 55s, Geiser, De Sal, Anstey in 57s, and so too Siwa in 19th place. Disappointing, but he'll be pleased with his riding, actually, Jeremy Siwa. Nothing he can do about it. Tommy Searle obviously making 1 or 2 errors because he's down in 18th behind Paulin and Van Horbeke. Van Horbeke in 16th place. Tough weekend for the Belgian here in Switzerland. Right, here's Clément De Sal. He's had quite an eventful race, hasn't he, in race 2. Here's why. He led, and this was Herlings finding his way through into the lead. Not long after that, a couple of corners in fact, Fevre also moved through into second. Then there was a nervous look, and here's why. He was wary of Geiser. Geiser just ran him off the track, left him nowhere to go. He's now in 4th place, but he's going to be on the podium. Herlings will go 1-1 for 50 points. Fevre, 3rd and 2nd, 42 points. De Sal, 2nd and a 4th for 40 points. Remember, it's 25 for the win, 22 for 2nd. 20, 18, 16, 15, 14. Single digits right the way down to 20th place, where you pick up 1 World Championship point. But it'll be another podium visit for Clément De Sal. Just under 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go then. MXGP race 2 here in Switzerland. The MXGP of Switzerland, presented by iXS. We're at Frauenfeld-Gachnang. Here's Max Anstey. He's in 5th place for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. 1 place better than he was in race 1, where he actually got nudged off the side of the start straight going into turn 1. Got the wrong side of the barriers. Had to rejoin at the back of the track on the exit of the turn and carved his way through the field for a fantastic 6th place finish. But he's been there or thereabouts in race 2. He's not been able to assert the same kind of authority they did in race 1, but sometimes, you know, when you have that problem, you either go down in the first turn or hit the gate or have what happened to him. You just kind of ride on instinct, and every pass was just immaculate. As soon as he caught somebody, he passed them and left them, went on to the next guy, and that's how it was for the entire first race for the Englishman. He's now into 5th. About 9 seconds or so, 10 seconds or so, something like that behind De Sal. What will that do for the podium? Yeah, he's going to be 4th overall, 31 points, so 9 points behind the Belgian. Here's Tony Cairoli. It's been another one of those weekends for him. Another one where he may have just picked up a knock. Having to ride through the pain barrier again. As good champions often have to. But while he's been struggling there, in 6th position, his teammate, Geoffrey Herlings, is almost 9 seconds clear of Romain Fevre, on course for winning his 13th Grand Prix of the season. And for Geoffrey Herlings, you know, if you count back to last year, he won 5 in the last 6 rounds. He's won 12 out of the 15 rounds so far. That's 17 wins in the last 21 for Geoffrey Herlings, the Bullet. It's going to make it 18 from 22 here this weekend. That's some kind of going in the greater scheme of things. And he's now starting to increase his points lead as well, at the expense of his teammate Tony Cairoli. He's crashing race 1 and having to ride through the pain barrier in race 2, but you can't take anything away from either of those guys here this weekend. Romain Fevre charges downhill. He knows this is going to be good enough for a podium. He also knows that because he was 10 points behind Geiser, he's going to pull back another couple of points on him. That was at the start of the weekend. He moved up to 4th after race 1. He's there in 4th in race 2, and those two are going to be separated by 3 points going into Bulgaria. Herlings will be on 7:33. Cairoli will be on 6.75, DeSalle 5.43, Febvre 5.10, and Geiser will be on 5.07. That third place is still very much up for grabs in the next 4 rounds and 3 laps, 2 and a bit laps. Here's Tim Geiser, Team HRC then, third in the race, 4 seconds behind Romain Febvre, similar lap times, but they're still about a second or so down on Herlings, who's now 9 seconds clear. Here he is, number 84, 2-lap board goes out. He was victorious here last year with a 6th and a 1st. Looking to go 5 better this weekend with 2 race wins. And strengthen his grip at the top of MXGP. Had a bit of a duel with DeSalle and Febvre in the early stages of the race. I'm not sure if he was just struggling to find his rhythm or if he just, as Dirk Grubel said, looked like he was enjoying it. So, but then that maybe was a point where he just saying, yeah, I don't really want to get involved in all that. I'd rather be out on my own, and at least that I can take care of business and just take care of myself. There's DeSalle stepping up into 4th place. Anstey about 9 seconds behind him. 11 seconds behind, actually, in 5th for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. But a good, solid performance for DeSalle on the Monster Energy Kawasaki. This will be his 6th podium of the year. Of course, he has a Grand Prix win as well in Russia. Tough weekend here in Switzerland. It's hot, 30 degrees outside, a brutal racetrack. Physical energy required to get through those waves every lap, then you land, then you straight into that to keep it nice and short. It's very easy to overjump, then a single, then a double, and then this at the end of the straight, big braking bumps into that little wall. Pick your rut, head uphill. And look at the size of the deep ruts here, way past the cases. Herlings, though, enters his final lap with a 56.6. Here's Romain Febvre on course for podium number 3, the best of the season so far, with 2nd overall. Shows what a good start, what a difference a good start can make. Come on, DeSalle. Coasting then on this final lap. He's got 11 seconds, hasn't he, between him and Anstey, or thereabouts. Jeffrey Herlings on course for win number 13 this year. Half a lap to go for the bullet, number 84. Done everything right once again. Jeffrey Herlings then will make sure of a 3rd KTM victory in a row around here. Of course, Cairoli was victorious the first time we came here in 2016 with a win and a 5th. Jeffrey Herlings himself won here last year with a 6th and a win. He's going to go 1-1 in 2018. Come on, DeSalle will be 3rd overall. Kawasaki haven't had a win since Pit Byra back in 2000 on a Kawasaki. That was at Roggenburg, but Sebastian Tortelli, a 2-time Swiss Grand Prix winner for Kawasaki as well. Turns 40 today, actually, incidentally, the former 2-time world champ. But Jeffrey Herlings rounds out the final turn. He hits the finish line jump here, and he wins again. 25 race wins now in the season for Jeffrey Herlings. And salutes the fans there just a moment ago. 25 race wins, 13 Grand Prix victories now. And it gets better and better for Jeffrey Herlings. And Romain Febvre, finally, off the third step of the podium, he makes it number 2 this weekend in Switzerland. And De Salle will cross the line to finish third. And that's your podium. Herlings, Febvre and De Salle. So the first half, a dozen riders over the line. Then Jeffrey Herlings, a winner by almost 15 seconds in the end over Romain Febvre and Tim Geiser. De Salle, 4th overall. Anstey was 5th. Cairoli, battered, bruised and wounded, is 6th. Glenn Koldenoff, 7th. Strybos will cross the line for 8th for standing construct KTM. 9th, Sean Simpson on the Wilbo Yamaha. 10th should be Lupino for Gibbon van Venrooy Kawasaki. And we wait for him to come through any moment now. But let's go downstairs to talk to our man of the moment. 13 Grand Prix victories now, and win number 80 finally for Jeffrey Herlings. Here he is with Lisa Leyland.
Jeffrey Herlings, congratulations. 25 race wins, 13 GP victories, another 50 points. You must be feeling pretty pleased.
I feel like on top of the world right now, my personal feeling, but awesome. I mean, 2 pretty good starts. Came out both times second. Second one was a bit worse, but fought my way through the pack and managed to take over the lead after like 10 minutes, and then managed to do my own pace. And those tracks when I was a childhood was the most difficult I could imagine, and now winning on difficult tracks like this is pretty amazing for me. So want to thank Red Bull KTM Racing Team and all my personal sponsors for the great job they're doing and all the support I'm getting. And looking forward to Sevlievo next weekend. We did some good things for the championship today, 2 great wins. So yeah, looking forward to see everybody again in 7 days.
Great job, thank you.
Yeah, great work today indeed. 2 wins, another 2 wins as well. 5 wins in a row. Now, the last 5 GPs, and had it not been for Lombardia, who knows what could have happened there. But he won 4 before that, he's won 5 now. But in total, 13 Grand Prix victories this year from the 15 rounds that 16 rounds that we've had so far. 15 that he's competed in, actually. But give you the official confirmation then of MXGP Race 2 in a moment. We're just waiting for that to come up, but it's been a very noisy Grand Prix here in Switzerland, hasn't it? Where did Seawer get to in the end, actually? Seawer got up to 16th. Right, here is the official confirmation then. MXGP Race 2. A win for Jeffrey Herlings, Romain Febvre 2nd, Tim Geiser 3rd. Then it was Commander Sal, Max Anstey, Tony Cairoli, Glenn Koldenoff, Kevin Strybos and Sean Simpson. Lupino was 10th, ahead of Bobryshev, Leop, Van Horbik, Lieber, Paulin. Seawer got back to 16th. 17th was Valentin Guillot, 18 Todd Waters, Tommy Searle 19 and Petr Petrov rounding out the top 20. The overall looks like this. Jeffrey Herlings for the 13th time this year. And another double score. Febvre finally gets it to the 2nd step of the podium for Monster Energy Yamaha, and De Salle, Monster Energy Kawasaki, 3rd overall. 4th overall was Glenn Koldenoff, actually. And then Anstey down to 5th. Geiser was 6th. Cairoli 7th. But look at that, championship 733 to 675. That gap now 58 points between 1st and 2nd. It was 36 before we arrived here at the start of the weekend for round 16. So once again, that is a healthy championship lead to have if you're Jeffrey Herlings, with 4 rounds to go. Bulgaria next week, Turkey the week after, a week off, then we go home in Herlings' case to the Netherlands, and then Italy a couple of weeks after that before the FIM Motocross Monster Energy Motocross of Nations in October at Redbud, first weekend of October. Getting ready for the podium ceremonies down here, but before that, Fox whole shot time. And for the first time this year, it goes to this fella right here, who's had a very tough weekend, though. A crash in race 1 on lap 1, a crash in race 2 as well, but the Monster Energy Kawasaki of Julian Lieber, number 33, striking, well, I was going to say striking gold, but striking black, because it's a black plate that they'll be handing out to him. Cairoli's already won this one, though. 17 foxhole shots of the year now. Herlings on 7. We've only got 8 races left to run. Fans will make their way from the bleachers and from all around the circuit to see the final podium ceremony of the weekend. Of course, during the rest of the races, they're all kept back because there's races still to follow on. There's Michele Rinaldi. Good to see him here this weekend. And Pit Byra, the last ever Kawasaki winner, of course, here at Roggenburg back in 2000 in the 250 category. One of only 7 Kawasaki winners, of course. There's quite a few people rocking around in terms of management positions. Marnik Vavort's a 2-time winner, both of those on Yamahas. Quite fitting then that is a Yamaha team manager for Khmer Yamaha nowadays. Both of those were at Roggenburg as well. Jackie Vimonda winner, Sebastian Tortelli a winner as well. Yves Demarié, former winner here as well. But Clément de Sales, 3rd overall this weekend. The Belgian stands on the 3rd step of the podium, and that's his 6th podium appearance in 2018 for the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider. Romain Febvre back on the podium as well, and one of the biggest cheers. 3rd podium performance for him. He was 3rd in Matterley, 3rd in Pankal Penang, 2nd overall here. But Jeffrey Herlings winning fans all over the world wherever he goes, of course. Round 16, he missed a round earlier on in the year, round 11 in Lombardia. He's won 13 of the Grand Prix that he's entered. Hasn't finished lower than 2nd overall. Those 2 blips coming in Spain, round 3, and Russia, which was a victory for Clément de Sales. But Jeffrey Herlings on the top step, extends his championship lead as well, and takes with him win number 25, race win number 25, and career victory number 80. Clément de Sales, though, 3rd overall here for Monster Energy Kawasaki. Second in race 1, 4th in race 2. Romain Febvre, 3rd in race 1, 2nd in race 2 for Monster Energy Yamaha, and 2nd overall. And Jeffrey Herlings, another winner's trophy, 80 now in the books for him. And Red Bull KTM, Dr. Wolfgang Schrub, the FIM Europe president, handing him another winner's trophy. And great to see Pit Byra here, obviously splitting his time now between MotoGP and very busy down there on the tarmac. But Willy Laderack, the OK CEO, and pretty much the man behind this event here. That must remind me, I must go and I need to go find a sound engineer here because, but I'm told he's knocking around somewhere in a black shirt. It's an internal joke, by the way. But Tony Skillington will deliver another championship leader's red plate to Jeffrey Herlings as he continues to lead the FIM Motocross World Championship in MXGP now by 58 points. But your winners here this weekend, Jeffrey Herlings, Romain Febvre and Clément de Sales. Dutch and Austrian national anthems, then in recognition of Jeffrey Herlings and KTM victories here today. Round 16 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Switzerland, here at Triumphal Gagnan, presented by iXS. Your winners, Jeffrey Herlings, Romain Febvre second, Clement Desailles third. We'll talk to the top three just after the best moments with Lisa Leyland.
Jeffrey Herlings, congratulations, another 50 points your way. It looked like you had another challenge in that second moto, which lasted all of maybe 10 minutes, and you totally turned things around and dominated as per usual.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words. We did a good job, you know. Like I said, got to give it up to Red Bull KTM racing team. The guys been working so hard on the bike, and the bike is absolutely amazing. So we keep trying to improve and get better and better each week. And you know, it was a good weekend. Obviously, struggled a bit yesterday with the star crash, but today, when it was about the points, we managed to go for 1-1. And yeah, looking forward to next week in Sevlievo. 4 more to go. So yeah, I want to thank everybody around, and see you guys in 7 days.
Congratulations, thank you. Second overall today we have Romain Febvre. Romain, a solid weekend for you. It really looks like things are working for you at the moment. At one point in that second race you were faster than Jeffrey. Okay, you didn't get the overall, but you must be happy with this podium finish.
Yeah, for sure. To be on the podium, it's always really nice for my team as well. They did a great job, Monster Energy, Yamaha Factory team. Now we work really hard on the start the last few weeks, and seems to be really good now. And for sure, when you start on the front, you can. It was easier for me. I can battle on the front. I had the speed of Jeffrey, like a little bit beginning, but yeah, he pulled a little bit gap, and yeah, I was good at second. They was not really close behind me, so yeah, I'm really happy. Thanks to all the sponsors who follow me, and see you next weekend.
Great job, thanks Romain. Third overall today we had Clement Desailles. Clement a second place and a fourth place finish. In that second race you really had to be a bit wary of Geiser behind you, had some contact there, but you still got your 6th podium finish of the season. Just tell us about the races.
Yeah, actually a really positive weekend, you know, 3 good starts, and also first moto was really good. Honestly a bit disappointed about second one. I was leading, and then leading some laps actually, and feeling good, and then I get passed straight away from Herlings and Febvre, and then yeah, I didn't have some good line, I think, and lose my rhythm a little bit. Geiser passed me again, so finish 4. I'm disappointed about this one, but all is positive, healthy, and all is good.
Great job, thanks, come on.
Yeah, he might be disappointed though, but Clement Desailles on the podium for the 6th time this year. Of course, he's the only guy to have won a Grand Prix other than KTM, isn't he? But he will look forward to Sevlievo in Bulgaria, as we all will. What can the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider do there? And what can Romain Febvre do? Of course, said he's been working hard on his starts. Looks like they've got that dialed. And good to see him on the podium again for the 3rd time this year. 2nd overall as well for the Monster Energy Yamaha. But Jeffrey Herlings just goes from strength to strength. The number 84 Red Bull KTM rider, 13 wins in a year now. And you know what? He's only lost 17 points in all the races that he started in 2018. Apart from the 50 that he lost, of course, in Lombardia, but take them away, he's only lost 17. He is dominating the season. He's now won 18 of the last 22 Grand Prix, if you go back to last year. Is it now a question of when, not if, he's world champion in 2018? Well, we'll soon find out, of course. We've got more action to come. Next week, we will be in Bulgaria at Sevlievo. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye for now.